Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-dun-dun, da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Hey, we're doing rational numbers today. I know, I know y'all liked my little intro. I was like trying to get pumped. I know, I keep doing this like Rocky. Y'all probably don't even know what that is, who Rocky is, and that's not even the right song for him. Okay, anyways, yep. All right, it's Ms. Harkins. We are going to be doing rational number operations today. Fractions, decimals, positives, negatives, all that good stuff. We're going to get this work. Let's go. So if I notice, I have negative 1 and 3/4 minus 5 over 6 divided by negative 2 and 3. Negative 2 over 3. I have all fractions here. Don't be scared, okay? Sometimes when we deal with fractions, it's smaller numbers than what we think. I'm always going to do parentheses first. Let's go ahead and get a number that both 4 and 6 are in common with. So if I put my factors for 4 and I put my factors for 6, they both have a common number. So before I even start solving this, I want to have common denominators. So I'm going to multiply 3 because 4 times 3 gives me 12. Whatever I do to the bottom, I got to do to the top. I'm going to do 6 times 2, and that's going to give me 12. Whatever I do to the bottom, I got to do to the top. So I have negative 1. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. Minus 5 times 2 is 10. 6 times 2 is 12. Okay. If I wanted to, I can even go a step further and make this a improper fraction. So 12 times 1 is 12. 9 times 1, or I'm sorry, 12 times 1 is 12 plus 9 would be 21. So negative 21 over 12 minus 10 over 12. Okay, with me so far, all we did was got common denominators and changed this to an improper fraction. Sorry for the glare, you guys. Come on, glare. Come on, there it goes. Okay, so I have negative 21 minus 10. That's the same thing as saying negative 21 over 12 plus negative 10 over 12. Okay, that's going to get me negative 31 over 12 divided by negative 2 over 3. Okay, so we did this part. Now we're in the second part. Okay, so now we're here, the part of this part of the equation. Remember, when I divide by fractions, I'm just multiplying by the reciprocal. So this makes a multiplication sign, and then my reciprocal would be a negative 3 over 2. So this is really saying negative 31 over 12 times negative 3 over 2. Okay? We got this, you guys. We got this. All right, so I'm going to solve. Well, 12 times 2 is 24. Negative 3 times, negative 31 times a negative 3 is a 93. Okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and simplify this. So I'm going to change my improper fraction and make it a mixed number. So 24 can go into 93. I don't know. Let's see. 1, 24. 2 would be 48. 3 would be 72. 4 would be 96. Okay, so I can go in at 3 times. 3 times 24 is 72. Subtract. That's 1. 9 minus 7 is 21. So now, I have 3 and 21 over 24. If I look at a multiplication chart, I can simplify that. I can simplify that by 3. So I get 3 and 7 over 8. You're probably thinking, Miss Harkins, oh my gosh, why did you give us such a long problem? I get it, but remember, we have to know how to do our fractions, okay? We can't always change things to a decimal because y'all don't like division, and we did very little division here. Okay? Let's go ahead and do another problem. All right, so if I look at this problem, I have negative 2.4 divided by 5 1/3. I need to make these either all decimals or all fractions. I'm going to show you how we do it with all fractions. So negative 2 1/4, that's just the same thing as saying negative 2 and 4 over 10. I can simplify that by 2 and make that negative 2 and 2/5. So we have negative 2 and 2/5 divided by 5 1/3. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to improper fractions. So 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12, so I have negative 12 over 5 divided by 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. Okay, remember, dividing fractions, same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So I should have negative 12 over 5 times 3 over 16. Okay, so now I can multiply across. This gives me negative 36. 5 times 16, 80. Okay, I can simplify this. They're both even, so I can simplify it by 2, but I can also simplify it by 4. Negative 36 divided by 4 gets me negative 9. 80 divided by 4 gets me 20. That is my answer, negative 9 over 20. I mean, I could still do this one as a decimal. Oops. But guys, I did more multiplication here than having to do division. All right, so that's why I kept it as a fraction. We're gonna do a word problem on your quizzes together, and then I'm gonna release y'all. Give it a second, you guys. Oh, shoot. Oh well. wanted to do. Give me a second, you guys. Sorry. All right, there we go. But I didn't want to do this one. I'm gonna pretend. I don't know. Oh shoot! Look at me go, guys. All right. Okay, I don't know why. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest. I don't. All right. That didn't work out the way I wanted it to. One more time. Let me see something. Okay. Okay. So now let's get started. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, Maya has 120 caramel apples. Each caramel apple is covered with one topping. 1/5 is caramel with 1/5 is caramel with peanuts. Okay, 1/3 are covered with chocolate chips, and 3/10 are coconut. The rest is with sprinkles. They want to know how many is sprinkles. Okay, so if I look here, $120 is my total. So we know that my total is 120. We're gonna go ahead and figure out my caramel first. So 1/5 is caramel. We're trying to get to 120. 5 times something gets me 120. I don't know that on top of my head, so I'm gonna solve. 5 times 2 is 10. Subtract that's 2. Bring down my 0. So we know that 24 is caramel with peanuts. Okay. Now I gotta work on chocolate chips. 1/3. And we're trying to get to 120. How do you get from 3 to 120? Times what? Times 40. Good job. So we know that 40 of them are chocolate chips. 3/10 is coconut. How do you get from 110 to 120? Times 12. Times 12. So that's 36. 36 is coconut. All right, the rest are sprinkles, but I don't have a proportion here. So what do you think I'm gonna have to do with all of my numbers? I'm gonna have to add them up, then subtract. Or I can just take 120 and subtract my 24 peanuts. That leaves me 96. Then I can take away my 40 chocolate chip. Gives me 56. Then I can take away my 36 coconut. So 20 sprinkles are left. All right, guys, that is your problems for today. Sorry it took so long. I hope y'all have a wonderful day and start practicing your quizzes. Bye.